working on fall decorating by using container pots. We've been doing some indoor container pots, but you can also do outdoor container pots. A couple of great things with doing indoor is using any container that you have. It could be a platter, it could be a cookware that's decorative for the season. Anything you really find, you could make it into a container garden. This one I'm going to use indoors. Nice thing is it has a metal liner, and I have put a plastic liner underneath it so that if any drainage does seep through, I won't ruin the surface that I put it on. Some of the things that we're going to be using today are both annual, perennial, and some landscape plants also. Some of these are tolerant for the fall season and the colder temperatures, but a lot aren't. But since it's going inside, we can use them and still get a great display. One thing I'm going to start out with is the straw flower. It's a summer annual here in Michigan, but it has some great color, and the straw texture of it just makes it a really fun plant to use in a fall container pot. I have one here that we've already had unpotted, and I've kind of rustled up the roots so that it takes to its new container, its new home. One thing you want to remember is a lot of these can be pruned off, any of the expired blooms, and the decorative foliage, you could certainly, any of the foliage that's yellowing and things like that, you can pick off to make it look and be a brighter display inside. One thing that I did find, and the greatest thing with fall containers, is you can find your materials really inexpensively. I found some of this euonymus, this trailing euonymus, that was only 50 cents a pot. Sometimes the nurseries and the home improvement stores have racks that are clearanced, and you can find some great things that will make a great display. So I have a couple of these that we're going to put in with our container. I'm just using a regular potting soil. You don't want it doesn't need to be too heavy because it's going to be inside, so the humidity is not a huge problem or drying out. But again, you want it heavy enough so that it will hold on to the soil. I added a little bit of compost to it so that I had some extra nutrients. And we're going to move into some more. This is a houseplant that is a houseplant in Michigan, of course, but in the tropical lower states, it can be an outdoor landscape plant. But I loved the texture of the foliage, and it has all of those fall colors in it, so I thought it would be a great accent to use. One, of course, the favorite things in fall time is, of course, the mums. You can get them in a variety of colors, yellows. This is kind of an burnt orange, red, purple, whatever your theme is. Again, I was staying with those autumnal colors for our container pot today, but and it again is tried and true for the fall season. The other thing that's nice about this container is I'm going to do it. It's going to be a floor display, but the thing is I'm going to plant it so it looks all the way around for both sides. So I found this silvery annual, again 25 cents on the clearance rack. So it really could be economical and lots of fun to find some of the finds in there. Everything fits nicely. You don't want to overcrowd it, but you want it to be full enough so that it looks it's instant gratification and an instant display. Topping it off, you want to make sure that all the roots are covered in between the plants. So you might have to shuffle them around a bit and then move them back in together. Once that's done, biggest thing to remember is not to fill it to the brim. You want to make sure you have at least a ½ inch or so of the soil down deep or down low, so that when you water, it doesn't flow over and then you get dirt everywhere, because that's not something fun to clean up in the house. So once we fill this up, you can also line your top of this with some rock or some moss or something like that if you want to make it a little bit more decorative. Even just a little straw on top would be kind of festive. But pretty much that's our container. You could also do a little bit of ribbon around the edge and put a bow on it if it's something that you have a theme going on, or if you are having a full event. This could last you from easily mid-October through the Thanksgiving time. Always be careful to water lightly, but keep it moist but not wet. And deadhead as it goes, and pick off, just prune and pick off anytime you want. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of ideas for container gardening for the indoors for the fall. And come back and visit us at Naturally Jody for some more projects as we go along. Have a great day.